Hello everybody, a very good evening and a very warm welcome to yet another dhamakedar, farratedar and mazar session by Embibe. This is Pritesh, your host, your dost and a proud educator, welcoming you to your grade 10 chapter, the final chapter of your grade 10 bio, that is our environment. So ये जो वन शॉट के सीरीज हैं विच वी हैव डन, वेरी गुड इवनिंग गीतांजलि, वेरी गुड इवनिंग हर्षित, ये जो वन शॉट की सीरीज है विच वी हैव डन फॉर चैप्टर्स, ऑल द 5 चैप्टर्स ऑफ योर बायो, राइट फ्रॉम लाइफ प्रोसेस, कंट्रोल एंड कोऑर्डिनेशन, हाउ डू ऑर्गेनिजम्स रिप्रोड्यूस, हेरिडिटी, एंड टुडे वी आर डूइंग द फाइनल चैप्टर दैट इज आवर एनवायरनमेंट. यू ऑल नो दैट बायोलॉजी जो है वो आपकी बोर्ड एग्जाम है, दैट इज ऑन द 5th of March. तो अगर आप देखें तो मोटा मोटी यू आर जस्ट लेफ्ट विथ 1 month फॉर योर बायो एग्जाम. And today sharp at 8 o'clock, I am coming up with a session on 30-day strategy for your board exams. And let me tell you, I am not only going to do bio, but I'll be telling you 30-day strategy for all the subjects, for English, Math, SST, Science and Hindi. पांचों सब्जेक्ट्स के लिए आज हम 30 डेज स्ट्रैटेजी करेंगे. देयर आर हार्डली 30 days left for your board exams, and today we'll be doing the one shot of your chapter our environment, and evening 8 o'clock we'll be doing the 30-day strategy. So make sure that you come along with your friends to watch this session. ठीक है? So before that, before we move ahead and before we talk about the chapter our environment, I want you all to pay a free visit on the Embibe page, which is absolutely free of cost. That gives you test, assignment, study material, question, solution, explanation to solution, books, reference books, NCERTs, any board, any grade, any subject, any language, absolutely free of cost, only on the Embibe page as well as the Embibe app. So make sure that you pay a visit. Also guys, connect with us on Telegram, because here you get a chance to get your doubts solved, you get the PDF of the session, you also get the timetable. So make sure that you come and join us on Telegram. Our Telegram family is already a big family of more than 5,000 imbibers, of more than 5,000 imbibe achievers. So make sure that you also become a part of the Telegram family, right? So okay, now let's begin talking about the chapter our environment. What all are we going to cover in today's session? So in today's class we will be covering ecosystem and its components and environmental issues. Okay? These two important topics which are a part of your chapter our environment we are going to cover today. I'll try to go as slow as possible. If anywhere you want me to re-explain a concept, if anywhere you want me to stop, take a pause, please do let me know. Okay? Chalo, let's begin with the first concept, that is the introduction to the chapter. Now, what is an ecosystem? What is an ecosystem? Ecosystem consists of all the interacting organisms with the non-living constituents. So it is a successful interaction of the living with the non-living. How will you define an ecosystem? An ecosystem is a successful harmonious interaction between the living and the non-living components of the environment, or between the biotic and the abiotic. Now what do you mean by abiotic? Abiotic are the non-living ones. They are the physical factors like temperature, rainfall, wind, soil, minerals, right? Okay, water. All of these fall under the abiotic components, and biotic are the living ones, which include your plants, animals and microbes. So what is an ecosystem? It is a successful interaction between the living and the non-living, between the living and the non-living. Got it? That is what your ecosystem means. Now, when we move further ahead, we talk about the different types of ecosystem. So ecosystem can be a natural ecosystem like a forest or like a pond. Okay? It is a natural ecosystem where everything is happening on its own, where there are successful food chains, food webs happening, where the biotic and abiotic are interacting with each other in a very successful manner on its own, on the nature's on the nature's behest. But when we are talking about artificial ecosystem, it is something which man has created, like an aquarium. An aquarium is a artificial setup where the man has brought different species of fish, where the man has put water, where the man has put lights, where the man is giving food, and everything is controlled by the man. So artificial ecosystem is a controlled ecosystem. it's a controlled ecosystem. Example will be aquarium, garden, crop field, etc. But a natural ecosystem will be something that is happening at the power of the nature. ठीक है? So natural ecosystem and artificial or man-made ecosystem, these are the two different types of ecosystems that we have. As you can see over here, this is a man-made ecosystem. You can see, you know, the fish, they have very limited area, so the fish are moving, there is a sea goldie, there are rocks, there are plants. And in aquarium also these days we can create environment, we can put different types of pebbles, we can put different types of stones, we can put artificial plants, and we create an ecosystem. Another example, which is a very, very beautiful example of an ecosystem, is a terrarium. Do you guys know what is a terrarium? Do you guys know what is a terrarium? Tell me yes or no in the chat. क्या आप जानते हैं कि terrarium क्या होता है? हर्षित, गीतांजलि, do you know what is a terrarium? Okay, if you know what is a terrarium, that's really good. If you don't know what is a terrarium, okay, if you don't know, please Google it. So terrarium क्या होता है? Terrarium is a, I'll give you a small example. So जैसे they will take a fish pond. They will take a fish pond, and in that fish pond they will put little bit of sand, and they will put different species of plants over here. Okay, and they create an ecosystem that is called a terrarium. Please Google about it. Okay, please Google, it's beautiful. Nowadays terrarium is a beautiful art form. There are many workshops that teach you on how you can create your own terrarium. Basically it's creating your own ecosystem in a pond. Okay, in any kind of a you know, box. It's in a small setup they create. So please Google it. There are different workshops. So after your 10th standard, if you are somebody who loves gardening, who loves plants, then you can definitely do a terrarium workshop and you can learn how to create your own terrarium. Now, I have a question for you, that which of these is an artificial ecosystem? A lake, a crop field, a forest or a pond? Which of these is an artificial ecosystem? ठीक है, आर्टिफिशियल इकोसिस्टम. क्या गीतांजलि, क्या पूछ रहे हैं आप? लार्ज स्केल या स्मॉल स्केल पे होता है टेरेरियम? टेरेरियम तो आप टेरेरियम का वर्कशॉप अटेंड करके सीख सकते हो कि कैसे टेरेरियम बना सकते हैं. ठीक है, यू कैन मेक बिग वंस, यू कैन मेक स्मॉल वंस, यू कैन इवन मेक इन अ स्मॉल पॉन्ड और यू कैन मेक इन अ बिग ग्लास बॉक्स एज वेल. ठीक है, चलो टेल मी इसका जवाब क्या होगा, दैट विच ऑफ दीज इज एन एग्जांपल ऑफ एन आर्टिफिशियल इकोसिस्टम? इज इट अ लेक, अ क्रॉप फील्ड, अ फॉरेस्ट और अ पॉन्ड? गिव मी द आंसर्स गाइस, क्विक क्विक फेवी क्विक. चलिए. Okay, so Gitanjali is saying it is crop field. Let me see. Let me submit and see. Harshit, you want to give the answer? I'll give you 10 seconds. Harshit, do you want to answer? Okay, so going ahead with Gitanjali's answer, absolutely correct. Crop field, aquarium, garden, it is a controlled ecosystem. You can see it is an artificial ecosystem where you have got, you control what is going to happen in the ecosystem and what not. ठीक है, चलो. Moving on, you talk about the components of the ecosystem. So you have got the biotic factors and the abiotic factors. The abiotic factors are the non-living ones like your temperature, sunlight, air, water, land, etc., soil, rocks, everything. Your biotic factors are plants, animals and microorganisms. Now when you talk about plants, animals and microorganisms, they are divided into three categories. Producers are the ones who are producing their own food, which includes your green plants, certain bacteria, algae. Your consumers can be primary consumers, that are herbivores, example a frog. Secondary consumer will be primary carnivores, you can say a snake. Tertiary consumer will be the secondary carnivore, say an hawk. So the you can say, you can even take grasshopper. So the grasshopper eats the grass, which is a herbivore. The frog eats the grasshopper, it becomes your secondary consumer. The snake eats the frog, it becomes my tertiary consumer. ठीक है? Then decomposers are the ones which will decompose the dead remains of plants and animals. Okay, they are the decomposers. They decompose and they put the energy back into the cycle. Okay, you will understand it better when we do it with the help of examples. Now, ecological pyramid, it is a graphical representation showing the relationship between different organisms. You have got the producers which make their own food. So, you have got producers on the bottommost. So, you can see over here we have got producers, then primary consumers, secondary consumers, tertiary consumers, and then comes decomposers. Okay? So, this is your ecological pyramid. Now, when you are talking about the ecological pyramid, it is also very important to understand these all terms. So, you know that there are producers and there are consumers. When I talk about consumers may I have got primary, secondary, tertiary, and then I have got decomposers. So, these are the biotic factors of your ecosystem. So, how will you know? It is biotic factors. In this I have got producers and consumers. Under consumers I have got your primary, secondary and tertiary, and here I have got my decomposers. Okay, any doubt in this? Any doubt in this till now? Any doubt? Any doubt till here? Anybody? Harshit, Gitanjali, any doubt? You can ask me now. यहाँ तक कुछ भी डाउट है, कुछ नहीं समझ में आया, or should I move ahead? Okay, done, perfect. ठीक है, ठीक है. It's actually a very easy chapter. Now we move on ahead and we talk about the tertiary and decomposers. So tertiary consumers are the ones who eat secondary consumers like humans, tigers, eagle. Decomposers will be the one who decompose. So I can take frog as the primary consumer, snake as the secondary consumer, eagle as the tertiary consumer, and then microorganisms as the decomposers. Now, I have a question for you, that in a food chain, the third trophic level is always occupied by whom? Who occupies the third trophic level? Is it carnivore, herbivore, decomposer or producer? Who occupies the third trophic level in a food chain? Come on, easy peasy, Japanesey. I want Gitanjali and Harshit to answer that who occupies the third trophic level. Come on, think and answer. Okay, so Gitanjali says it's carnivores. Let's go ahead with Gitanjali, and you are absolutely right. Carnivores occupy the third trophic level and your decomposers occupy the fourth trophic level. So autotrophs or the producers are the first trophic level, herbivores are the second, carnivores are the third, large carnivores or tertiary form the fourth trophic level. So this is your pyramid. Okay, this is, you can see this is your energy pyramid. So first trophic level, second, third and fourth trophic level. Okay, chalo. We move ahead and I have another question. Match each word bubble with its correct definition. So I have got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, primary consumer, producer, tertiary consumer, decomposer and secondary consumer. So you can see primary consumer, producer, decomposer, secondary consumer, tertiary consumer. You just have to connect. You just have to connect. Yes, Gitanjali. Ecological pyramid बहुत important है. Our environment chapter पे 6 marks तो पक्का आएंगे ही आएंगे. ठीक है? Hello Kajal Kumari. Very good evening. Welcome to the session. Now, can you help me to connect these different, consumers, these different type of organisms with their examples or characteristics? I have got primary consumers, I have got secondary consumers, I have got producers, I have got tertiary consumers and I have got decomposers. Just help me to connect them. Just help me to connect them. Come on, quick, very quick. You can even tell me one by one. Very good evening, Abhijit, Biju. One by one also you can tell me. Like, sir, primary consumer will be this. चलिए जल्दी जल्दी, आई एम वेटिंग फॉर योर आंसर्स. Quick, very quick, guys. Tell me one by one. Producers uses light. Hi Madhvi. ठीक है, तो माधवी ने बोल दिया कि producer will be use light. Okay. And Gitanjali has told me decomposer will be fungi and bacteria. ठीक है, I am left with two pairs I am left with. चलिए 3 pair actually. 1 2 3 4 5 6. आगे बताइए. Good, Madhvi, Gitanjali, good. Keep on trying. Kajal, Abhijit, you guys also try and give me the answer. Harshit, आप कहाँ चले गए? ट्राई कीजिए, चलिए जल्दी जल्दी. Primary consumer consumes plant matter. Okay, ठीक है. Now I've got only 2. Secondary consumer, eat secondary consumer, crow, dog, and tertiary consumer. Yes, Madhvi, you are right. Now help me with these two also. I am left with secondary consumer and tertiary consumer. चलिए, short form में also you can write, even if you don't write the full word, it's fine. Even you can write in short. Secondary consumer, crow and frog. Okay. So obviously this becomes my final answer. Chalo, let's see. And it is absolutely great. क्या बात है. Gitanjali, Madhvi, very good job. Very good job. Very nice. Gitanjali and Madhvi, kudos to both of you. You guys did great. ठीक है, चलिए अब आगे बढ़ते हैं. And we talk about the food chain. तो food chain का definition 100% guaranteed question in the exam. Food chain or food web is 100% guaranteed. It is a sequence of organisms. It is a sequence of organisms. Hi Kajal Kumari. It is a sequence of organisms through which nutrients and energy is transferred in the form of food from organism to organism. तो हम कैसे लिखेंगे? यहाँ पे we can add a word linear. It is a linear sequence of organisms through which nutrients and energy is transferred in the form of food from organism to organism. ठीक है? What is food chain? It is a linear sequence of organisms. किसका sequence है वो? organisms. जिसमें क्या transfer हो रहा है? Nutrients and energy is transferred in the form of food from organism to organism. बहुत easy है. It is a linear sequence of organisms through which food and energy is transferred in the form of food from organism to organism. ठीक है? It is a linear sequence of organisms through which nutrients and energy is transferred in the form of food from organism to organism. 4 parts में आपका food chain का जो definition है वो learn हो गया. The food chain describes who eats whom for survival in an ecosystem. It is also the pathway for the transfer of energy. ठीक है? In 4 terms, you have learnt your food chain ka definition. How? Number 1, it is a linear sequence of organisms through which nutrients and energy is transferred in the form of food from organism to organism. ठीक है? 4 parts में your food chain ka definition is done. Please read it 4 times. Please read this 4 times and tell me when you're done. Write a done in the chat. I'll wait. If you want, write it down in your books. Linear sequence of organisms through which nutrients and energy is transferred in the form of food from organism to organism. Read it 4 times and tell me once you are done in the chat. I'll give you 1 minute. 100% guaranteed definition in the exam. Gitanjali, Madhvi, Kajal, Abhijit, Harshit. Chalo, quick, very quick. Done. ठीक है? Chalo, moving on, and we talk about food web. So you can see that this is a food web. What is a food web basically? So food web is where one organism is being eaten by multiple organisms. Like if you see the example of grass. So grass is being eaten by a grasshopper, it is being eaten by a deer, it is being eaten by a rabbit. So there are 3 different organisms that consume grass. Now this deer can be eaten by a tiger, ठीक है? Deer can be eaten by a fox, the rabbit can be eaten by an eagle, by a tiger, by a fox as well. ठीक है? The scorpion which will eat the grasshopper, it can be eaten by a fox, it can be eaten by a snake as well. So a food web is where one organism is consumed, can be consumed by multiple organisms, and that is why we call it a network of food chains. So what is food web? It is a network of different food chains which are interconnected. Since one organism can occupy a position in more than one food chain in a food web, it occupies more than one trophic level. It represents the feeding relationship with the community. So food web क्या है? It is a network of various food chains. What is food web? It is a network of various food chains. ठीक है? That is what is your food web. एक बार इसको भी पढ़ लीजिए. I'll give you 1 minute and then we'll move ahead. ठीक है? Done? Chalo. Moving on, we talk about a question. What will happen if deer is missing in the food chain given below? So यहाँ पर हमारे पास है grass is being eaten by the deer and the deer is being eaten by the tiger. Now if I don't have deer, what will happen? The population of tiger will increase, the population of grass will decrease. The tiger will start eating grass, or the population of tiger will decrease and the population of grass will increase. What will happen if from the food chain, a basic food chain I have made where I have grass, deer and tiger, if the deer is gone, what will happen? Gitanjali and Madhvi have already answered. What about Kajal? What about Abhijit? What about Harshit? Come on. बाकी के कहाँ हैं? जो सो रहे हैं वो जाग जाओ, जो जाग रहे हैं वो जागते रहो. 20 seconds I'll give you. Super easy question. Chaliye, going with Madhvi and Gitanjali, the answer is definitely if the deer is not there, the tiger won't get anything to eat, and so the population of tiger will decrease out of starvation, and because deer is not eating the grass will go on increasing. Okay? So that is why even if one element in the entire food chain is missing, the entire ecosystem gets affected. For example, tomorrow if we take the example with our real world. Tomorrow, say for example, there are no grasshoppers. What will happen? If there are no grasshoppers, there will be a lot of grass. Now this grasshopper is being eaten by frog. So if there are no grasshoppers, the frogs won't get food, so the frogs will die. If frogs are not there, what will the snakes eat? So the snakes will die. If snakes are not there, what will the eagles eat? The eagles will die, right? And that will in turn disturb the entire ecosystem, and that is why they say that each and every organism of the ecosystem is very important to maintain the ecosystem how it is. The way or the rate at which organisms, especially animals, are getting endangered and extinct in the world, it is very, very scary for the future. है ना? Say we have to save tigers, we have to save elephants, we have to save snakes, we have to save eagles, we have to save grasshoppers. All the organisms, we have to keep them intact so that a healthy ecosystem keeps running. ठीक है? चलिए. Moving on, energy flow. The flow of power that occurs along a food chain is called the energy flow. It is unidirectional. Energy will flow from sun to the consumers. You can see over here how the energy is flowing. The energy of the sun is taken in by the producers. The producers give 1/10 of it to the primary consumer. It gives it to the secondary consumer. This gives to the tertiary and then the quaternary. So only 1/10 of the energy goes ahead. Fuel enters the food chain at the level of the producers by solar energy. Plants convert solar energy into chemical energy through photosynthesis. It is passed on to the next tropic level and further on. So how much energy is transferred? Only 1/10. Only 1/10 of the energy is transferred to the next tropic level. Why? Because whatever energy is received, उसमें से 90% of the energy is used up by the organism for creating its own food and for its own metabolic activities. So only 1/10 of the energy is transferred to the next tropic level. 10%. It says that only 10% of the food energy is transferred from one tropic level to the next. The remaining 90% is used in life processes. So you can see the grass is getting energy from the sun. Only 10% is given to the primary, only 10% is given to the secondary, only 10% is given to the quaternary. In case of energy, only 10% goes. But similarly, in case of chemicals or in case of biomagnification or toxins, it is 10 times more. So यहाँ पर कैसे it is only 10%. In case of toxins, in case of chemicals, it is 10 times more. At every tropic level, the toxicity is transferred 10 times more. ठीक है? So उल्टा है. चलिए. Drag and drop the labels to their correct spots in the food web. So now here we have a food web. ठीक है? Here we have a food web where we have flower and fruits, mouse, rabbit, weasel, fish, and you have to drag and drop. Energy flow, I'll repeat. Okay, Gitanjali. So energy flow क्या है? Energy flow is that it is the flow of power that occurs along a food chain. It is unidirectional. So energy producers, the green plants, take energy of the sun. Whatever energy they are taking, 90% energy they use to do photosynthesis and to carry out different processes like respiration, transpiration, reproduction, flowering, fruiting, etc. etc. Only 10% of the energy they give to the primary consumer. Now this primary consumer, whatever energy it got, उसमें से 90% it will utilize for itself and only 10% of that it will give it to the secondary consumer. The secondary consumer, whatever it gets, all 90% it will use for itself and only 10% will go to the next tropic level. ऐसे करते करते जब आप final tropic level पे पहुँचते हो, तो very less energy is left. Why? Because every tropic level has been using energy for itself. ठीक है? For example, if I tell you with numbers, if the grass has got 1000, if the grass has got 1000, 100 will reach here, 10 will reach here, 1 will reach here, and 1 upon 10 will reach here. समझ में आया? Did you get it, Gitanjali? Only 10% is gone. The remaining is, ये हो जाएगा 0.1. Got it, Gitanjali? Yes or no? बताओ जल्दी से. हाँ, क्यों? बाकी की एनर्जी कहाँ गई? तो बाकी की एनर्जी जैसे 1000 किलो जूल इसको मिली, इसने सिर्फ 100 दी, बाकी की जो 900 थी, that the plant used for itself. इसको 100 मिली, इसमें से 90 it used for itself. इसको 10 मिली, इसमें से 9 it used for itself. इसको 1 मिला, इसमें से 0.9 इट यूज्ड फॉर इटसेल्फ, इसको मिलेगा सिर्फ 0.1। ठीक है, चलो, now let us do this beautiful activity where you have to complete the food web. So we have got fish, mouse, rabbit, weasel and flower and fruit. You have to put these words in the correct boxes. So I'll help you a little bit. I'll put grass over here. Now you guys can tell me आगे how to do it. चलो, it's very interesting. I've helped you with one, you have to tell me the rest. Very good evening, EDJ. Deer will eat grass. Okay, I'll put the deer with here. Done. Hi Akriti. Grass deer is done. Grass deer is done. What about others? What to put where? You guys are doing good, good, good. Come on. Flower, fruits, insect. ठीक है. Done. Done. So I think the primary consumers are done. Now let's move on to secondary consumers. Tiger at the top. Okay. ठीक है. Yes, yes, yes. EDJ. Then what? Fish will be waterfowl. Okay. Now I have frog and tiger. Sorry, frog and owl. Insect will be owl. Okay. तो बचा ये, यहाँ पे हो जाएगा frog. Anybody wants to change anything? Frog, insect. Okay, so Gitanjali saying frog, insect. ठीक है. Mouse will be frog. Madhvi is saying insect will be owl. ठीक है. So two people are saying insect will be owl, so we'll leave it here. Mouse will be fox. There is no fox. Fox तो है ही नहीं. ठीक है. Frog, insect. Frog, insect. So Madhvi, you are saying frog, insect, but Akriti and Gitanjali are saying owl, insect. ठीक है. So I think let's go with 2:1 because two girls are saying that it's owl over here and you are saying it's frog over here. What others think? EDJ, what do you think? What will be the answer? Kajal Kumari, what do you think is the answer? यहाँ पर owl आएगा या frog? Insect will be owl or frog? ठीक है, चलो. Let's submit. Oh, Madhvi was right. Madhvi was absolutely right. Madhvi, no Madhvi, you were right. You were right by saying owl is mouse and frog is insect. Very good Madhvi. So this one is specially for Madhvi. Very good evening Tejas. Very, very, very good evening. Very good Madhvi. Very good. You should have been confident Madhvi. You should have said no sir. Insect is frog. ठीक है, चलिए आगे बढ़ते हैं. So you guys have given the correct, Madhvi has given the correct answer rather. You all gave correct answers for remaining, but the final one जिसमें tie आ रहा था उसमें Madhvi won. ठीक है, चलिए. अब if a grasshopper is eaten by a frog, then the energy transfer will be from. If a grasshopper is eaten by a frog, so energy will be producer to decomposer, producer to primary consumer to secondary consumer, secondary consumer to primary consumer. If grasshopper is eaten by a frog, what will be the energy transfer? Chalo, very easy and interesting. quick, very quick. C, 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 C. चलिए, let's go with C. And it is absolutely correct because grasshopper is a primary consumer, it eats grass, and the frog is the secondary consumer. Hi Anshpreet, very good evening. Welcome to the session. ठीक है, चलिए अब आगे बढ़ते हैं and we talk about the different types of waste. So we are done with ecosystem, we are done with food chain, food web, energy flow, everything, energy pyramid. Now we talk about the two types of waste. So one type of waste is biodegradable waste, which is something that will decompose on its own. Hi Arathi, very good evening. It is the organic waste that comes from the kitchen, that comes from restaurants, right? It contains your food waste, it contains your animal waste. So substances which can be decomposed like fruit and vegetable peels, cotton, jute, cow dung, paper, etc. And the non-biodegradable waste. Non-biodegradable waste are something which cannot be decomposed in the Hi Pritu Bhaiya lover, which cannot be decomposed in the environment, like your plastic, glass, rubber, leather, etc. etc. So plastic, polythene, metal, synthetic fiber, radioactive waste, pesticides, etc., which do not get decomposed by the action of microorganisms, and they will remain in the environment for years and years. I'm absolutely fine. Thank you so much for asking. आप कैसे हो ये बताओ. Now, ozone layer. So ozone layer is a molecule of ozone with 3 oxygen atoms. The structure of ozone is like this. This is the structure of ozone, O3. This is how the ozone molecule looks like. Now ozone molecule, oh yes, exact 1 month left. That's what. इसलिए प्रीतु भैया lover, today at 8 o'clock I am doing a live session on 30-day strategy to ace your board exams. 30-day strategies जिसमें I'll give you strategy and tips for English, Math, SST, Science and Hindi. पांचों सब्जेक्ट के लिए मैं आपको strategies दूंगा on how to keep yourself calm and how to study strategically for your board exams. ठीक है? Now, ozone layer is in the stratosphere of the atmosphere. When there is too much of chlorofluorocarbons in the ozone, in the atmosphere, this ozone molecule breaks down to form oxygen and O2 because of CFC. So because of chlorofluorocarbon, the ozone molecule breaks down and it makes it oxygen and atomic oxygen. Now, ये कहाँ हो रहा है? This is more happening over Antarctica. So the ozone depletion is reduction in the concentration of ozone. Ozone hole is concentrated area of ozone depletion over Antarctica. What is the function of the ozone layer? 4 बजे मेरा ट्यूशन होता है, आज तो छुट्टी है. ओके, अभी तो देखिए आपके हो गए गीतांजलि, आपका जो ग्रेड 10 के 5 चैप्टर्स है, आज लास्ट चैप्टर है, तो ग्रेड 10 का 1 शॉट तो हो गया. नेक्स्ट वीक ऑनवर्ड्स, फ्रॉम नेक्स्ट फ्राइडे 4 o'clock we are going to do paper discussion starting from 2018. हम 2018 का बोर्ड का पेपर लेंगे और हम उस पेपर को डाइसेक्ट करेंगे. ठीक है? अगर आपके पास टाइम है तो आप लाइव आ जाइए, अगर आपके पास टाइम नहीं है तो आप रिकॉर्डेड भी देख सकते हैं. ठीक है गीतांजलि? नाउ, जो ओजोन लेयर है वो हमें बचाती है सन के यूवी रेज से. अब ये यूवी रेज अगर हमारे बॉडी पे एक्सपोज हो तो हमें होता है स्किन कैंसर होने के चांसेस है, आंखों में कैटरैक्ट होने के चांसेस है, हमारे डीएनए को डैमेज होने के चांसेस है, इम्यून सिस्टम वीक होने के चांसेस है, जो क्रॉप्स हैं, क्रॉप का प्रोडक्शन चांस कम होने के चांसेस है, कैंसर होने के चांसेस हैं. एंड दैट इज वाई जो ओजोन लेयर है वो हमें इन सारे यूवी रेस से बचाती है. ये ओजोन लेयर कहाँ है? ये ओजोन लेयर है स्ट्रेटोस्फीयर में. यस प्रीतु भैया लवर, यू आर एब्सोल्युटली राइट. So it is very important that we control the depletion of the ozone layer by reducing the production of CFC. अब ये जो CFC है क्लोरोफ्लोरोकार्बन, ये आपको मिलेगा रेफ्रिजरेटर्स में, ये आपको मिलेगा कूलेंट्स में, ये आपको मिलेगा एयर कंडीशनर्स में, ये आपको मिलेगा एरोसोल स्प्रेज में. So that is why we have to make sure that all these devices that we are using like refrigerator, coolant, air conditioner, aerosol sprays, they all are CFC free. and when they are CFC free, we will not be releasing CFC, which will not go and deplete the ozone layer. ठीक है, otherwise we are digging our own grave. ठीक है, चलिए अब एक फाइनल क्वेश्चन कर लेते हैं कि चूज द इनकरेक्ट स्टेटमेंट. सो दिस द लास्ट क्वेश्चन एंड देन विल एंड. ठीक है, सो चूज द इनकरेक्ट स्टेटमेंट. ओजोन इज अ मॉलिक्यूल फॉर्म बाय 3 atoms of oxygen. Ozone is a deadly poison. Ozone shields the surface of the earth from UV radiation. The amount of ozone in the atmosphere began to increase sharply in the 1980. इनमें से incorrect statement कौन सा है? Which of these is false? Madhvi has already given her answer. What about others? सर दूसरी क्लास कब होगी? Today at 6:30. Today at 6:30 I'll come, and then again at 8 o'clock I'll come. Akriti has given the answer. Madhvi has given the answer. What about others? Today at 8 o'clock I'll be coming live with a 30-day strategy to ace your board exams. Anshpreet has given the answer. What about Preetu Bhaiya Lover? What about EDJ? What about Arathi? Gitanjali? चलिए quick feviquick. जरूर follow me on Instagram. Those who have not followed me yet, you can follow me on Instagram. My Insta handle is biology with Pritesh, and I am connected with Embibe Achieve 9th and 10th also. You can follow both the channels. ठीक है, चलो everyone is telling D, तो let's go with D, and ये रहा आपका सही जवाब. एब्सोल्युटली राइट. तो रादर 1980 से जो ओजोन का कॉन्सेंट्रेशन है वो कम होता गया, एंड दैट्स व्हाई देयर हैव बीन लॉट्स ऑफ मीटिंग्स ऑन द ग्लोबल लेवल टू कंट्रोल द CFC रिलीज सो दैट वी कैन हील द ओजोन लेयर. एंड लेट मी टेल यू, नाउ द ओजोन इज एक्चुअली हीलिंग. द ओजोन लेयर इज एक्चुअली हीलिंग. ठीक है, so with that guys, we come to the end of the chapter, our environment. I hope you guys understood, है ना? I hope you guys I try to be active as much as possible, Preetu Bhaiya Lover, but yeah, you are right, I'll try to be more and more active. So you know, you please pay a visit on the Embibe page. It is free of cost. Embibe app is also free of cost. यहाँ पर आपको मिलेगा टेस्ट, असाइनमेंट, स्टडी मटेरियल, क्वेश्चन, सॉल्यूशन. हाय नेहा, explanation to solution, books, reference books, NCERTs, any grade, any board, any subject, absolutely free of cost. ठीक है, वो चैनल भी I'll start again, Preetu Bhaiya Lover. Thank you so much. ठीक है, so guys, I hope you enjoyed the learning, and if you did, do not forget to give this video a big fat thumbs up. Do let me know in the comment section कि आपको ये session कैसा लगा. Share this video with your friends and school WhatsApp groups, and subscribe to the channel because it's absolutely free. Until we meet next, this is Pritesh, your host, your dost, and a proud educator, signing off for now. And till then, take care of yourselves. Stay healthy, stay happy, stay blessed, and keep imbibing.
Keep imbibing. We believe in you.